Hey guys. So today we're going to talk about tokenizing IP, and we'll go through some case studies and the means of tokenizing in the United States, and most importantly, in a compliant way. So let's start. So we are a FINRA member funding portal, which means we are able to take any LLC, any asset, and turn it into a security first before we can tokenize it. What does that mean? That means, for example, let me ask this first. Did anyone invest in films before or any type of IP in the past? Music, royalties? You have? Did you make money? No. So, because probably you didn't invest in a compliant way, right? I don't know how that happened, but let's chat after. So the key is to be able to do proper due diligence on each issuer, which means let's say Kaya has a movie and he wants to raise money for his movie, and he needs about $3 million to make the movie and then sell it. How does the process work? First, we take a look at the founders, we take a look at the team, and make sure that the team has clean background. We report directly to the SEC in the United States. So our job as an intermediary is to vet the issuers. And as soon as the issuer vetting process is complete and the majority holders of this company, which means 20% and more, have clean backgrounds, they have paid their credit cards in 1985 and they didn't get in jail in any time in the past, they get a green light from us, and then we're able to say, okay, we can take a look at your company, and then we can list your company publicly so that anyone, including retail investors, can invest in this specific offering using a credit card. So once that's done, we take a look at, so obviously it's worth mentioning that this market is really big. We're taking up about $4 trillion out of 17 of tokenized assets in general. And IP is going to be one of the next opportunities in this field. As a company, we're based in Los Angeles and in New York. Our finance team is in New York, and then our IP team is based in Universal Studios in Los Angeles. So we understand this field really, really well. But you might ask, because we're a group of producers who have been nominated for Oscars, Emmys, Tonys, so why did we end up doing this technology platform instead of on top of making more and more movies and selling them? Because there's a huge problem, especially in Hollywood, with gatekeeping. What does that mean? Any retail investor is not able to just come in and invest in Hollywood. There's a bunch of gatekeeping. There's a bunch of trust issues like our friend had here. And it's not necessarily a liquid market that you can come in and exit. So we're trying to fix that and open it up just like tech investments, just like VC in tech. We're trying to turn that into IP. So the main problem is, obviously the crypto industry is under strict compliance, and there's not enough compliant platforms to buy and sell security tokens. Obviously, when I said compliance on stage about 3 years ago, I was the black sheep in this community, no matter what conference it was, but now compliance is more and more appreciated, so we're back in the field. Obviously, too, retail investors can't really access private markets, which is a huge issue as well, especially in the United States. The market is open, but the opportunities are not being shared with retail investors who are just anyone in the streets, basically. And obviously, creators in LA, especially independent filmmakers, don't have the means to fund their projects. Like, for example, we're in a studio, right? We have a production company arm, and we can greenlight a movie based on a streaming platform wanting that specific movie. But any filmmaker in any crowd, they're not able to fund their own movies. They go to film festivals, to Cannes, to Toronto, to different film festivals to find investors for their projects, but nobody wants to invest in them because people don't understand the field. So combining these three problems, we wanted to create one solution. And that is why we created Untold in the first place. It is, we call it the next generation because obviously we started as a Web 2 company, just like any crowdfunding model like Start Engine or Republic you guys might have heard. Everybody was focusing on tech companies and tech opportunities. We wanted to take the IP field when it comes to this. So our partner, we started with Dapper Labs. Shout out to Ro, the founder. They believed in us first because we were one of the first movers in the field, but obviously we did it in a compliant way, so it attracted the right crowd to us. So what we do is once there's an offering, let's say continuing from that first example, Once the offering is live, and now we're raising money for one project, let's say the last project that we made with Robert De Niro and Morgan Freeman, it was a $40 million film that we listed on our platform that not anybody could invest in. That was the first time in Hollywood you could invest in a Robert De Niro film and meet Robert De Niro using your tokens. And we made that happen. Obviously, the film itself, they had different journeys, but our promise was very solid, and we kept it. It took us, like it says here, it took us about 2 years to understand this process because there's a lot of KYC involved. There's different processes involved that for us to be able to have a streamlined platform. And now where we are today is we first, like I said in the beginning, run due diligence on each issuer, and then securitize the IP itself by registering it with the SEC. And once the registration is complete and we say, okay, this specific LLC is clean, this business plan is great, the founders are vetted, they have past experience, then the offering goes live in the United States, and anyone in the streets can invest in it up to a certain limit. What I mean by that limit is if you're accredited, you can invest as much as you like, but based on your income, your limit shifts. These might be, these might sound like why do we have to limit someone who's trying to invest? Because in crypto, there's it's usually, we don't like laws and we don't like rules, but when it comes to real reality, there's organizations in the US like IRS and SEC, so you want to make sure that whatever money you're accepting from an American citizen goes to the right place in the right way. These are some of our test projects. Blind Ambition was a friend of ours. He's a very, very vetted filmmaker, blind filmmaker, the first blind filmmaker in the world. We supported his project to tell his story. We supported Beyond Utopia. Beyond Utopia was nominated for an Emmy. It was nominated for BAFTAs. It was shortlisted for Oscars, and it was also it won an award at Sundance, and it was nominated for multiple other festivals. We choose stories that need to be told, and that's our beginning point. And Somnium was the total, for these 3 projects, totally we raised about 1.5 million, and then we deployed to them. And Somnium just got sold in Cannes Film Festival this year. So what this tells us is that there is an exit strategy behind each movie. Just like a company, but you know that there's, at the end, in about 3 to 5 years, you'll be able to sell the product if you executed well. What that means is if you followed your production budget, if you followed all the schedules, and if you didn't go over your budget, and if you used the money properly to be able to deploy your project, then you're probably set for a great exit. That's the difference between startups and films. Startups have about 7 years of exit cycles. Films have about 3 years. The way we help every filmmaker is we are based in the studio system in LA. So when we onboard a filmmaker, when we onboard any type of musician, doesn't matter, we handhold them. We handhold with them. And we basically take the entire journey very seriously, and we support them throughout the journey. Meaning we incubate the project, we help them shoot, we help them find incentives, we help them find cast and crew. And once the project is complete, then we basically help them to sell it as well. What do we do to make this all happen? Obviously, we take our transaction costs and then we take our back-end equity. But this is, if you know the film industry, you know that this is not easy for any filmmaker. It's really not easy for any filmmaker to come in and sell a movie. It's very rare. So we're trying to democratize that for everyone. This is our founding team. Obviously, it's me and a couple more great guys. Michael is someone in the crypto industry that a lot of people might or might not know. In Puerto Rico and in the US, he's pretty well known, and also comes from a Hollywood background. So we all kind of understand how this could work in the industry. We said somebody's going to tokenize IP. Let that be us. And Phil is also an Oscar-winning, Tony-winning, and Emmy-winning producer. Phil made more than 180 movies and sold literally all of them. The guy probably made more than $1 billion in revenue. But now we got together basically to take this problem really seriously and deploy. And Laszlo is also a really, really smart CTO. The rest of our team, Aya is from Microsoft, Jessica is from MGM and from Barack Obama's administration, and Laith is also from Yahoo as a marketing. We've been doing this for now a while, and I think this is the most excited I've ever been, because personally, it was difficult for us to explain tokenization to people in 2021, because we got our license in 2021, and this company was launched in 2020. So as a part of the Singularity University's incubation program. So blockchain, crypto, Bitcoin, these concepts were very novel back then, and now in 2025, with the new SEC chair, with the new approach to the entire industry, we see the light. So we're back here integrating fully into Web3. Obviously, we have been, mentioned in media, and we've been trying to push this field for a while. But this is just the beginning, if you ask us. We're just getting started, and we have more and more projects in our IP library that we're going to be rolling out. Like I said in the beginning, the key is finding the good projects, finding great stories to tell, securitizing them first, registering them with the SEC, and making sure that the project is, you can trace it back to the SEC's website to find details about this offering. And then tokenization is easy. We use a custom ERC model protocol to be able to deploy our smart contracts, and then you're now plugged into the revenue share of the specific asset, whether it be film or music, but the royalties are now tied into your contract, and it goes directly into your wallet. And on top, we give you collectibles. There's some surprises that are going to be out there about these collectibles, but we're choosing very specific IP to create one-to-one collectibles for each investor to get one based on their rarity levels and based on how much they invest. So our model is more of a hybrid model that combines equity crowdfunding, debt crowdfunding, but also collectibles and a new NFT model. I think we're doing good with time, but I'm at the end of it. So if you guys have any questions, more than happy to answer. But we're here for compliance, and we're here for IP. Thank you.